It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this Friday, April 21st, 2023. Coming to you from Central Virginia, Bedford County. A couple of announcements this morning. Mr. Bucket List and I will be doing another live stream for our upcoming hosted cruise on Norwegian Joy, which sails May the 1st. We'll be doing that live stream on Friday night, the 28th. That's next Friday night, not tonight. I actually have a Friday night off. After the last couple of Friday nights, we've gone live. But we will be doing a live stream next week. So whether you're on that cruise or not, or you're just interested in possibly sailing on a hosted cruise, whether it's solo or a double occupancy, join us. You might enjoy it. So anyway, we'll answer any and all questions that might come up. All right, my friend Elizabeth Eli, as she refers to herself, is, of course, in Cozumel. And if you guys recall, she's been staying in a friend of hers' house while he was in, I don't know, Finland or someplace weird. And I don't mean that derogatorily. I just don't remember where he was. It's someplace in Europe. So she got the house sit for, it's been about a month now. Well, she's moving into her new place today, probably as we speak, but she shared a couple pictures with me. This is her new place that she's going to be moving into. Looks like pretty swanky digs to me. Of course, she didn't send any pictures of the inside yet. Of course, she's got to get all her stuff in there, and I'm sure I'll see something later on that. So that's Eli on location, or Elizabeth on location down in Cozumel. And yes, I've got to get back to Cozumel. I missed seeing her a couple weeks ago when I was supposed to be there with my friend Kevin on Caribbean Princess. And yeah, right now I don't have anything booked going to Cozumel anytime soon. So I'm going to have to maybe fix that, but we'll see. If you are listening via the podcast, as always, welcome aboard. You can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big guys just search for travel and cruise industry news, and up pops the old fat guy. If you are listening to the podcast and you ever want to jump over and see pictures or clips that I might be using on that today's show, like Elizabeth's new the pool area of her new apartment, all you have to do is go to the description of the podcast, and there'll always be a link to access the video feed. If you haven't yet, I would appreciate you smashing that thumbs up button, the like button, whatever you want to call it. That helps the channel out considerably. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. The bell notification will let you be notified when I go live or when I post a new video. Today, folks, is National Chocolate Covered Cashew Day. I'm amazed sometimes at who writes these damn things. Why do we have a holiday for chocolate covered cashews? And I'm not fussing about chocolate covered cashews. I don't think I've ever eaten a chocolate covered cashew. I have nothing against it. I love cashews. I love chocolate. So, if I had some, I'd eat it. I'm not sure I've ever seen chocolate covered cashews. I mean, maybe I live in a cave, which is probably true. But anyway, today is National Chocolate Covered Cashews Day. If you have any or know where to get some, it helps celebrate. I'm just saying. All right, today's top story. Come on, tongue. Today's top story is Meraviglia arrives in New York. The MSC Meraviglia arrived in New York City at the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal last evening, completing her 11-night repositioning sailing from Port Canaveral and ready to begin sailings from the Empire State. With this momentous arrival, New York City joins Miami and Port Canaveral as North American homeports for the rapidly growing cruise line. The Meraviglia will offer year-round sailings from New York through at least September of 2024, with a variety of itineraries that vary seasonally. Most of her cruises will be tropical sailings to Bermuda, the Bahamas, or popular Caribbean destinations such as Cozumel and Costa Maya in Mexico. Most cruises will also stop at the private island, which is as good, if not better, than any of the other cruise lines' private islands. Of course, that's Ocean Key, MSC Marine Reserve. During the autumn months, the ship will also offer Canada and New England sailings, always popular for the spectacular fall foliage at that time of year. Sailings range from 6 to 8 days, but guests can create longer cruises by choosing back-to-back itineraries as well, taking advantage of the varied destinations the MSC Meraviglia will visit. Because the ship has a roofed pool deck that can open or close depending on the weather conditions, she truly is a ship of all seasons that can offer guests great experiences no matter what the local weather. I sailed on the Meraviglia, get the tongue twisting thing going on there, last March and loved the ship. Also, my favorite bartender on all cruise ships serves on the Meraviglia. Onboard guests will find a shop lawn promenade with impressive LED sky screen, 20 bars, 12 restaurants to cater to all tastes, a rope course, water park, the MSC Spa, a 6,000-foot gym, a full-size 2-lane bowling alley, a sportsplex with basketball, pickleball, and miniature golf, and lots more. 7 different shows are presented on board, as well as live music and other outstanding entertainment. Not only will cruise guests be eager to experience MSC Meraviglia from New York, but the ship will also bring a welcome economic impact to the area, with more than 200,000 domestic and international visitors expected to set sail each year. For each individual sailing, the ship can welcome 4,400 guests at double occupancy, or up to 5,600 when the passengers are fully booked. Approximately 150 local residents will be hired to support terminal operations for the new ship, and other local businesses, retailers, restaurants, bars, tours, Broadway shows will undoubtedly benefit from the up to $102 million expected in local spending when cruise guests are ashore. That's awesome. Meraviglia and MSC Cruises now sailing out of New York. They use the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. Many of us, I know I have never sailed from Brooklyn. I've sailed from Manhattan a couple times, but going to have to sail from Brooklyn now, because I'd like to do Meraviglia again. See how it's changed. All right. I'll be back after this.
Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scootaround. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scootaround for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise.
Thank you, Scootaround. And did I not show this? I'm slipping already this morning. That, of course, is the Meraviglia in Brooklyn. So I think I didn't even put that up. Oh, well, it's Friday, folks. What can I say? It's been a busy week. All right. The second story this morning has to deal with our friends over at Carnival. Yesterday, a fire truck was delivered to Turks and Caicos to the excitement of island officials as well as the crew and passengers of the Mardi Gras. With the capacity to hold 500 gallons of water, the 15-ton first responder vehicle was donated to Grand Turk Domestic Fire Services by the City of Miami Fire Rescue Department, while the City of Miami Commission supported the act of charity. Carnival Cruise Line takes full credit spearheading the entire initiative. Serving as a popular cruising port of call for decades, Grand Turk has only had domestic fire services for the past 3 years, founded by Turks and Caicos Islands Fire Rescue. The young department only has 6 trained fire rescue personnel, with only 1 fire truck at their disposal. The addition of the second firefighting vehicle doubles the team's fleet as they continue to try and recruit more people to become trained volunteer fire officers. The City of Miami Fire Rescue Department also was offered to personally train Grand Turk's firefighters on the new rig. Carnival cruise ships visit Grand Turk 190 times a year. At least that's what's planned for this year, bringing about 675,000 guests to the island. Leading the initiative to improve first responder capability demonstrates Carnival's dedication to improving Grand Turk, not just for the passengers, but also for the residents that welcome every ship with open arms. Don't go away, folks. I'll be back with a couple more news stories right after word from one of our network sponsors. Our next story has to deal with our friends at Oceania. And you know, I never get a chance to talk about Oceania, or very rarely. Oceania Cruises announced yesterday that it's partnered with Scotland-based Chapter 7 Whiskey to make available for sale a 20-year-old small batch cask of whiskey, a total of 304 bottles, aboard the 1,200-guest Oceania Vista as she cruises the Mediterranean this summer. The ship, which is also the first of 2 Allura-class vessels the line is building, is under construction at Fincantieri shipyard in Genoa, Italy, and is set to be delivered to the line later this month. The partnership with Chapter 7 Whiskey is part of the line's agreement with cruise ship retail operator Harding Plus. The ship is designed to cater to upscale travelers and food and wine connoisseurs. Even the ship's godmother reflects Vista's focus on cuisine. The line in February revealed the celebrity chef and award-winning food personality Clara De Laurentiis will name the ship at the christening ceremony on May the 8th in Valletta, Malta. Vista's inaugural Mediterranean season is already sold out. Boy, did I find that one shocking. The season is sold out, not just the sailing, the whole season. I'm thinking, wow, Then following that, the ship will reposition to Port Miami to offer Caribbean sailings through the winter, visiting destinations like Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, Belize, St. John's, Martinique, Barbados, Grenada, and others. The ship will return to the Mediterranean in the spring of 2024. I have a feeling, folks, if you're interested in sailing that, that's one you might want to jump on early. I mean, that's pretty impressive to sail out the entire season. Holy cow. Oh, man, here's one that I would love to do. At least I can blame this on Hot Air Tom. I can't do this because of Hot Air Tom's and my cruise to Europe. But Holland America will offer 133 days sailing pole to pole round trip from the United States in 2025, alongside a simultaneous 124-day Grand World Voyage. This marks the first time that Holland America is offering 2 grand voyages of more than 120 days simultaneously. The Grand Voyage pole to pole aboard the Volendam will take travelers across 5 continents from south to north, while the Grand World Voyage aboard Zuiderdam, one of my favorite ships, by the way, will cover 6 continents on the east to west route, with both voyages departing in January of 2025 from a U.S. homeport. Those interested in booking the spot can contact Holland America's World Cruise Reservation Desk or a travel advisor to make a deposited future cruise request starting from April 20th. With guests with a deposited future cruise request getting priority booking confirmation before the 2 voyages officially open to the public May 24th of this year. Highlights of the Grand Voyage pole to pole aboard the Volendam: 133 days, departing January 25th from Fort Lauderdale. The route takes the south to north to south course through the Panama Canal along the west coast of South America to Antarctica, then up to Argentina and Brazil and into the heart of the Amazon River. Afterward, the ship crosses to Africa, then sails north to Europe, up to North Cape, and west across the northern Atlantic Ocean via Iceland and Greenland before heading back to the eastern shores of North America. 68 ports across 5 continents, 28 different countries. The Grand World Voyage on Zuiderdam is 124 days, departing January 4th, round trip from Fort Lauderdale. The ship travels through the Panama Canal and heads toward Easter Island, then goes across the South Pacific to reach Australia. During the journey towards Indonesia and Sri Lanka, it also explores the Great Barrier Reef, then sails southwards to Cape Town, South Africa, passing through the Seychelles and eastern coast of Africa. Finally, the ship goes through the Suez Canal to reach Portugal before crossing the Atlantic. 46 ports, 32 different countries on 6 continents. That's the Zuiderdam, and again, one of my favorite ships. On April 24th, Volendam and Zuiderdam are due to meet in Barcelona for a joint overnight visit, bringing the grand voyages together for a celebration. Festivities involving both liners will mark the occasion of the dual visit, which I think that one's pretty cool. And no, folks, I can't do either one of these. And let's face it, folks, I can't afford doing either one of these. But if I decided to try it and then really actively went after a bunch of sponsors, maybe I could do it. But, I'd love to. I'd love to broadcast for 4 months around the world. I think that would be just awesome. Can't do it on either one of these, though, because Hot Air Times already got me booked on our European a jaunt. So, oh well, Hot Air. Maybe one day I'll be able to do one of those. And the last story today, another line I don't get to talk a whole lot about. Cunard's newest cruise ship, Queen Anne, has achieved a significant milestone in its construction at Fincantieri shipyard in Italy. The ship's iconic red and black funnel, which has been a symbol of Cunard's seafaring history, was successfully installed using the process known as the funnel lift. This marks a major step for the Queen Anne as she prepares for her maiden voyage in May of 2024. All right, that's going to wrap up the news portion of today's show. Let's hop over and see who is in the chat room today. All right, let's see. Hot Air Tom's with us from the New York NCL Escape, a sea day today. He's moving from Tortola, one of my favorite islands, of course, to Great Stirrup Key. Mostly cloudy today. Melissa's with us. Hi, Melissa. Good morning and happy Friday. Melissa's out there in Arizona. Oh, my God, we had the best pork ribs yesterday, Hot Air says, at the American Diner. Chillie, you need to try these. But a huge serving. Had these at 2 p.m. Not hungry yet. Had a Caesar salad only for supper and no breakfast. Wow. Nikki's with us. Hi, Nick. Dennis is here. Good morning, Dennis. Tom, stop at Bucky's for brisket, also sold by weight, and beaver nuggets on your journey home from Miami and Florida. I know there's Bucky's near Daytona and Jacksonville. I've passed Bucky's a number of times. I've never stopped. And they got good brisket. I'll remember that the next time I drive to Florida. Gretchen's with us out in Ohio. Dennis says chocolate-covered cashew sounds like a confectionery. I agree. Steve's with us. Hi, Steve. Hopes everybody is well. Thank you. Meraviglia, you got it. Thank you. I'm glad to do something right every now and then, Dennis. 7-night cruise on the Meraviglia. Solo cruisers from New York were as low as $349 when I checked for the entire month of April. Yeah, there have been some nice prices. I saw that $349 package as well. I have not booked it yet, but yeah, that's a pretty good deal. So, yeah, 7-night cruise, that's, what's that, 60, 349, 50, it's $50 a night. Unbelievable. And yeah, I know a lot of people fuss about MSC. I liked MSC. I've done 5 MSC cruises now, and they were all perfectly fine. Yeah, they're a little different. The food's a little different. I mean, it's bad. A lot of people just complain, and MSC gets a lot of negative stuff, and I've never found it. I mean, you know, even I fussed about the new ship that I was on in December, the Seascape. I fussed about their accessibility issues. I didn't fuss about the cruise. The cruise was delightful. The ship was wonderful, except for accessibility stuff. And there they screwed that up. But the food was great. The service was like it is on all ships that I've ever been on. Just awesome service. Yeah. Had fun in the bars and the clubs. You know, it was a fun cruise. I just had issues with accessibility. I mean, anything bad about the cruise? Good heavens, no. Dennis's sources, Vacations to Go. I use them all the time. I keep Vacations to Go link on my computer. I just have to click on it to go check anything out, Dennis. That's as good a pricing as you can get anywhere. So, Mike's with us. Hi, Mike. Fincantieri, you got that one. I've been practicing. I try, Dennis. I really do. Drink enough of that whiskey and you'll have to file for Chapter 7. I've never tasted Chapter 7 whiskey, Gretchen, but I'd try it if I was on that ship, or if I'm not sure I'd go out and buy a bottle until I tasted it. Maybe try it in a bar sometime if I see it. Chapter 7 whiskey. We'll have to see on that one. Giada. By the way, reference Giovanni is pronounced Giovanni. Giorgio is pronounced Giorgio. Okay, that's something new for me to learn. Dennis is laughing at Gretchen. I thought it was a pretty good line, too. Emily's with us, says, hello, Chillie and the gang. I've decided to go to the Philippines. I'm glad you made the decision, Emily. Emily has been torturing us trying to decide on going to the Philippines or maybe going on my Alaska cruise. But anyway, I'm glad you decided, Emily. That's going to be an awesome trip. There's just no way around it. Yeah, it's a lot of long flying involved, and it's pretty expensive. But look at where you're going to get to go. I mean, that's a couple of places there that I've not been as much as I've traveled. You go, girl. So everybody's congratulating Emily. Hot air, are you on the balcony outside of the deck? Hot air says, no, working on my laptop with a view out the balcony doors. Office with a view. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Emily asked Dennis what cabin's $350. That's an inside. Back to back in April was less than $1,400 for 4 weeks. That's a nice price for a month. Yeah, and again, some of us don't mind inside cabins. I don't. I mean, some people claim they get claustrophobia. Yeah, it never bothered me. Yeah, it's nice to when I get, there's got to be usually a reason that I have a balcony because I try not to spend that much money. But I don't mind the inside. I mean, what do I do in the cabin? I sleep there. I work there. My set up with my computer. And then everything else I do outside the cabin anyway. So if I want to see something or look out at the water or something, there's a billion places I can go on that ship to do that. And what I pay for the cabin, the savings lets me book another cruise usually. But yeah, 4 weeks on the Meraviglia for $1,400. That's got some possibilities, Dennis. I've been thinking that I need to do longer cruises than, but then, I do like to do a bunch of different cruises as well because I can experience different ships. maybe 2 weeks at a time instead of 4 weeks, unless I can get a really good bargain. Now, Kevin, Kevin for 30 and a wake up, he likes to book a month if he can. So if you can get the right deal. Tom, you always have the best work views. Way to go. I agree, Em. Yeah, and Emily, Dennis is saying that they're inside staterooms. When I book, I need a window. A balcony is great, but I need a window. Vacations to Go has a very user-friendly site, easy to navigate when checking cruise fares. Yes, it is. And you can also, quite often, if I'm looking specifically at price or if I'm looking specifically at solo, there's all kinds of filters you can use. And it's a terrific search engine. It really is. I use that first and then go, even if I don't book through them. And quite often I book through Vacations to Go. My guy with them has been wonderful to me over the years, but there are occasions where I have to book elsewhere. So I do that. But I've always had great service from Vacations to Go. So, yes, Emily was torturing her gang. Yeah, no, we've been following along, hoping you were going to eventually do just this. I mean, that's great, Emily. That's going to be a fantastic trip. Me and my cousins got money from the condo that we had for so many years. Well, very good. Emily, the June 11th cruise fares for 7 nights from New York are $319, $379 ocean view, and $489 balcony. $489 for a balcony. Of course, that's double occupancy. They're also quite often, they got good deals for solos as well, which is how I got started with MSC to start with, was I didn't have to pay double the cruise fare to be solo. But $489 for a balcony, oh my stars. That's awesome. Just awesome. Emily says, not bad. Where do they go? They listen to my story, Emily. They go to Bermuda, they go to the Bahamas, they go to several places in the Caribbean. In the fall, they go up to Canada and along the coast. I mean, they could be all over. So there's all kinds of itineraries on the Meraviglia. I like it. I'll be going on it soon. I promise you that. Yeah, Dennis encourages Emily to check cruise fares there. They're terrific to know however you book. Cape Canaveral, Ocean Key, Nassau. Wow. All the islands. Yes. There's all kinds of itineraries. It's terrific. And the Meraviglia, again, is a great ship. And if you ever go on that ship, I got a bartender to go see, and you tell her that Chillie said he loves her to death. And she's so much fun. But she's literally the best bartender I've had on any cruise ship. So that's a lot of praise for somebody that has consumed as many adult beverages as I have on cruise ships over the years. Wow. All right, that's going to wrap me up for today, guys. It's been a busy week. Of course, next week is my last week before I take off on the next adventure. Next Sunday, I leave. I fly out of Richmond at 6:40 in the morning. And I got to drive to Richmond. So, I have to leave at like midnight. Because I'm not going to go waste a motel and, no. But anyway, so it'll be an early start for me. But that's okay. I can sleep on the plane. Yeah, no, I can't. I can sleep when I get on the boat. I may end up sleeping my day away in Miami. That's what I could do. But anyway, that's next Sunday. I fly down a week from this Sunday and get on the Norwegian Joy, with my friend Justin, Mr. Bucket List. He and I will be co-hosting that cruise. All kinds of exciting things we've got to do with our group, and also with the group from Norwegian, which we have been in contact with and talked to a number of those folks as well. So there'll be lots of reports from there. As far as today goes, I get to do my least favorite thing in the world. I got to go to the damn dentist. Well, it's actually the periodontist. But I don't think they're doing anything today other than a checkup. But I hope. God, I hate the way they fire up the Novocaine to get in my mouth. But anyway, that's this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Yuck. All right, guys, that's going to do me until Monday, unless something major happens over the weekend. And of course, I'll go live if that does happen. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't, would appreciate that. And that's going to do it for the week. As always, folks, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great weekend, y'all. Later.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.